yet here in the middle of nowhere were these trees that were easily 200 feet tall, and there wasn't a structural engineer trying to design it or an architect trying to tell it what it needed to look like. It was just there. And that was something I'll never forget, especially when you combine the absolute silence and the smells of the earth and the dirt and the trees. It was just an experience that I will never forget.
I remember it was a really rainy day and I could hear the sounds of the waterfall gushing from the heavy rain. But what I remember most are the visual cues. The vast greenness that surrounded us, the green umbrella I was holding that seemed to blend in, the wet ground, and my fiance's face, of course. I also remember the way the light filtered in through the trees and clouds, and it made it for a beautiful moment. All of these things really bring me back to that place and make me feel like I'm there again.
I can still smell the cinnamon taffy being made and see the color as it got pulled. And taffy making was really exciting to us. The glass blower was amazing, and the sound of the heat of the furnace that the glass was being melted in, and then to see the artist make some beautiful vase or glass bottle or whatever by blowing into this giant pipe. It was amazing to us, and we really, I think that summer was so influential to me becoming an artist.
Now, right when you walked into this play space, which was essentially a very large room, just a lot of different activities and a lot of different things to do, I remember feeling very overwhelmed and overstimulated with just the amount of colors. The play space was always full of children, and so it was always very loud. Children were running around screaming. And then just the colors in there, they were all very bright, which was very overwhelming for me.
I was sitting back, the sun was out and the wind was blowing through the leaves, and basically it was just like the most refreshing experience I'd ever had. It'd been like a really stressful week, and there was just this ambient wind that was flowing through the leaves, and it was just so quiet except for the dual voices that you could kind of hear in the background. And the light was just like, the sunlight was just like perfectly beaming through the leaves. It was beautiful. And at that moment, I had this complete feeling of just relaxation, and I felt like I was in my own personal oasis at that moment.
I was now in a space, in a room, with thousands of other people and the band. And it's dark. You can smell it. You can smell a lot of things. It did smell like my brother's room as well, funny enough. You hear people talking, you see people interacting, and it's really just this palpable energy that walking into a room and that anticipatory excitement that comes with that idea of what is to come. Because I had seen the record, I had looked at the imagery, I definitely was thinking about what's going to happen over the next hour or two. And so it did not disappoint. Lights went out, and then fire went. The loudness, just again, the sights and smells of everything just starting to happen around me, and watching the crowd react. It was something that I had never ever experienced before. Again, I was only 8, but I was definitely feeling like I was getting in on something, and I was getting in on something big.